All right. I hope everyone who is watching this is safe and doing well. Um, it's been an interesting last couple of days. So this video is really a check-in video with our community really. I know not everybody may have access to electricity or water or those kind of things. So the time you're seeing this may be a few days after it's recorded. I mean, that's fine. I just, of course, Renee and I, when we spoke about it, we wanted to just ensure that um, we just, engage with our community at this time because I know persons are going through different things right now, and we certainly, um, we are in a state where we're trying to, process everything that has happened. I'll get into where we are and things like that shortly, but we're more concerned about you, how you are doing, how your family is doing, how your parents are doing, how your children are doing. So if you are in the community group, feel free to share it there. If you want to share it under this video, you can do that there as well. But certainly just want to just send our wishes and our love to everybody who is in our community. And right now, I think the last story I saw is that Hurricane Melissa is now headed to Cuba. So we're certainly praying for those who are in Cuba. Our prayer has been that the storm is just shut down, canceled, disintegrated kind of thing. So we certainly don't want to pray for it to leave us only to hit somewhere else. So our prayer is for that, everybody to be safe and everybody to, just do the best that they can do right now. All right. So, yeah, I'm honestly not even sure how we're going to get through this one in terms of the video, not the state of things. Just kind of, there's no plan in my mind. I'm just gonna just share some things that are top of mind for me, and then we'll get into everything else really. So the first thing that I'll say from our side, we were spared most of the impact we saw persons report. I did see Kalila sharing updates on our social media, so she seems to be doing okay. Her husband was working, her kids and her are home. I think she's without electricity still. Haven't heard from Demetrius, so I'm thinking he's still at work. He was at work yesterday. Checked in with just persons who are in the space, who create content, who make themselves available to serve generally in that way, just to see how they're doing. But a lot of persons would not have had light, I think, from yesterday, and so they may not have internet or the ability to communicate. So that's one thing I'll say is that because even doing this video, I was like, I don't even know if this video should be done, but then I'm like, there may be still, because I heard a report that 70% of persons are without light. So 70% of the country. That's what I heard. I'm not sure, of course, how accurate those things are, which has also been a challenge. We've seen some reports, a lot of interesting news, a lot of interesting data and photos and stuff like that being shared. Just be careful that you don't get pulled into a web of trying to do. So the state of things certainly will mean that we'll have a path to recovery. There certainly will be things that we need to repair. I think that the casualties I've heard so far is 3. I haven't heard any more since. I mean, just don't allow yourself to just repost on Reflex or comment on Reflex, or just start to feel this overwhelming fear or anxiety. Those things can really impact you and your family and how you go about the next couple of days. Give things time. If you can't from family, you're calling them, not getting them, give it time. Maybe they don't have power, they'll need to charge their phones, that kind of thing. So I do need to share some things in that regard. Let me get that out of the way quickly, because I said again, I don't know how long the video will be. So what I saw is that Starlink has done some partnership with Flow, so persons who are using Flow have access to the internet and phone. I need to find the post for that. I saw Digicel did a post that they're working to restore service. For those with electricity issues, I think the step to do is log it through the GPS app. So those are the things that I'd say right off the bat. I'm trying to find the one for Flow. Let me see if I can find that one and share it. Let me see, just one sec here. I've been following mostly the Observer to see what they have been posting. Not seeing the thing that I just saw. I think it was shared on the Observer. Observer. So for those who are here, let me know how you're doing. For those of you who are in Jamaica, how are you? How are your family? Shells, I know you're outside of Jamaica. So I mean, so a few of my co-workers, team members don't have electricity. A few persons don't have water as well. I don't think I'm going back to work tomorrow, but I have been working. I mean, our offices have been closed, but I'm still doing work. Right, probably the later part of today when things got windy, we weren't sure, whether or not we'd have light. I kind of focused on ensuring that the children were okay. I'm sure I saw something about Flow and Starlink. I can't find it now, but I know I saw it on my feed. So when I find it, I'll share it. But let me see if I saw it on Telegram as well. Yeah, not seeing it. So I'm not sure where to look for that one. Yeah. All right. So I do know as well that the JSC has been closed for the last couple of days, and this notice was put out just about an hour and a half ago that as the country continues to experience the impact of Hurricane Melissa, the JC Group offices will remain closed Wednesday, October 29th. There will be no trading activity or remote operations. So this, I think, coming from last week, has been happening every day this week so far, and I think will kind of be a trend maybe until at least Friday or next week, because for tomorrow, really have to kind of assess how things are in terms of roadways. Persons who have light and water now, it may not be a guarantee that you have light and water tomorrow, because as repairs are being done, as things are being restored, they may need to disconnect to do repairs, things of that nature. So I think, the common stuff is still recommended. Ensure you have enough water, ensure you have, your phones charged and things like that. If you have a power bank, ensure it's fully charged, that kind of thing. I'm happy that we have two internet connections here. We have Starlink and Digicel. So the Starlink, we had to take it down because I didn't have it secured, so I didn't want it to blow away. And with the winds we were getting, it most certainly would have blown away. So that's down. But of course, I think, not that I'm in a rush to go outside, but I think I may just put it back up on the roof tomorrow if there's no rain or winds. If it's raining or it's windy, I'm not going to do that. But our Digicel has been up consistently, which is good to see. So there'll be no trading tomorrow. Certainly for the Jamaica market, for the US markets, of course, for those who are invested there, you continue to do that. And I also saw this site that has been posted by the government to collect donations, I think, to update on how things are going, etc. So watch this video when you get the chance. About a 7-minute video. I think it'll let you know the government's plan to restore things. There's a donate button here as well for persons who want to make donations. You can donate in GMB or USD. So that was good to see that those things are being put in place. Just be careful now, because you may see, a few pages pop up, soliciting donations. I would say if the government has a channel, use that. We may do a fundraiser. We haven't done one in a number of years, honestly. I think 2022 maybe the last time we did one, but we used to do fundraisers for our community members. So once we get everybody's feedback in terms of how they're doing, etc., we'll see if we need to do any fundraiser as a community, just to help persons with what they may need. So usually, though, what we do is tend to partner with somebody. If they're doing something, we just point persons in that way. I'm almost certain our church will be doing some sort of initiative. So we'll see if our church is doing something that's focused on just church members, we may still do something, or we'll find something that can touch our community members wherever they are, and see if that, if it makes sense. We'll see what makes sense. It's still too early, I think, to decide any of that stuff, and we're not necessarily looking to have something for ourselves. We just want to know, if we know what's out there and that we can point people to, we do that. Otherwise, we just want to be sure those who need support gets the support. All right. So I think what I do want to say now about just the investment side of things, because a few things are kind of coming to mind. So before I go there, though, I do want to just kind of touch on the personal side of things. I think if you're watching this, you have to think of a couple of things. This is how I would look at it, right? So the first thing is that it's very good to have some sort of savings also in place. I was saying to Renee that this is why they tell you to have an emergency fund. And I must admit, I wasn't always a fan of the concept of an emergency fund, meaning it's not that I don't believe in it. It's just that I'm the type of person who believes that all of your funds should be invested. But if all of your funds are invested and now the market isn't opening, if you have an emergency and you can't get access to those funds, then now you're in a pickle, right? You're in an issue there. So I certainly have to revise my sentiments on the emergency fund. Something I'll probably do a video about, right? Because many persons have heard me say on many platforms many times that you can have your emergency fund invested and simply just use the dividend income or use some other income to just have for some basic emergencies. But if it is that we're not able to access our funds on the market for another week or more, and that's where all of your capital was, and you're now waiting for that money and you're not able to leverage any other source of income, that certainly doesn't make sense. So yeah, I can just say all the persons who are like, yeah, that's not gonna work, smiling right now. But I'm certainly somebody who is willing to admit when their perspective on something is wrong or has changed. I think I'm fine to do that. So I would say focus on that first. The good thing I'll say for me and us is that we did get a dividend payout recently. So that certainly gives us some cash. I did a video on that recently. So we have that cash that we did make a supermarket run. We have enough food, I think, to get us through at least the end of this week. Hopefully by then, supermarkets, that kind of stuff, are open again. I'm almost certain that things will start to increase in price. In the video that I watched on the Support Jamaica site, the Prime Minister spoke about things like price gouging, etc. I understand that with limited supply, there's going to likely be an increase in price. So that's something that I kind of expect. Even a modest, because my dad used to work in retail. My dad used to have a wholesaler supermarket type store, and whenever there was a hurricane or something, I remember when I was younger, there are certain things that would now be short. Like usually you could come in and buy 3 of something, you can only get 1. Or maybe we used to get like two stacks of bread, but we only get 1. So each person has to get. So those things can be that way for a couple of days until things are back to normal. So that is going to be important to watch for. So somebody asking, how are things on my end? Do I have electricity? Well, yes, I do. That's how I'm able to do the video here comes. So thanks for asking. How are things on your side? So that's the thing. You want to manage your resources well for the next couple of days, especially if you don't have full clarity as to when you're going to be going back to work, when things will be restored. You want to just kind of use things sparingly. As a parent, I can tell you it's important not to let the kids, as they would say, eat down the house. So you have to watch for, because my son is now eating all of his food. He's hungry all the time now. He's eating. I think the weather kind of does that to you as well. And so you just have to monitor that, because again, you don't know when you'd be able to, go and buy more things. You don't know how the roads are yet. You don't know how those things are. And so that's the first thing. You want to manage your resources. The next thing that I'd say is that you may want to think about, I think it's way too early for this, but you certainly want to assess how you're invested if you're a short-term investor, right? If you're a short-term investor, you want to think about how you're positioned certainly over the next couple of weeks to months. A lot of things I think are going to be impacted here. A lot of companies, their revenues have been impacted. A lot of companies might have realized damage now, so to their businesses. Most notably, I'm thinking about the FESCOs and the RPLs. I'm thinking about the companies that do retail, that do manufacturing, that do just regular retail goods and services for people. Those businesses may be impacted. So we may see those numbers coming out for next year showing signs of impact for Hurricane Melissa. So I would not be surprised if a lot of the reports that we're looking at for early next year will see impact of Hurricane Melissa. So that, because we certainly saw that for some as it relates to burial last year. And I think I'd say that, I mean, I'm gonna do some videos in the next couple of weeks about some things that I think are important to think about. So yeah, let me see some of the comments here. So Shell's saying, I think the eastern side will be up and running by Friday. They said they have flown in, adding people from North America to cover the recovery. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I think so too. I think on this side, certainly where I am, we just have to check the roadways. I have not been on the road since Saturday, so I'm not sure in my area how things are looking. But I don't think I'm going to go on the road tomorrow, but likely Thursday I'll try to see what the road looks like. I think I'll be working from home for a couple of days, most likely until next week. And for LGI, I'm happy that we had our challenge meeting last Saturday. So at least we don't have anything coming up for a couple of weeks. We do have our conference next month and that kind of thing. I don't think things will slow down there, but we'll probably pause a little bit on those postings, because I don't think persons would be necessarily keen on focusing on that type of stuff right now. We may give it a couple of days before we start posting our conference stuff again. So I may just be posting tips and things that I think will help persons during this time. Credit card can do the same thing as emergency funds. In 30 days, the market will be open to sell the stocks. Yeah, so I mean, that was my thought process before, right? I was like, worst case, you need to sell a stock, T plus one, you get your money. It was just more about maybe the positioning now. It is month end, so those who work a 9 to 5 job, hopefully they would have gotten their salary, been able to put certain things in place. But I'm just aware of the fact that most persons may not have had disposable cash. So it was more about that, Shells. I do when we got our dividend payment, I remember saying to Renee that those funds for me are going to be reinvested. She does have some shares that she would have had on the account that she started with her mom, that she had some things earmarked for. But I've always been one to prioritize cash flow. So I know personally I would always have something in place, but I don't know what it is for everybody. All right. TJH kind of charge for the new tool now that will look horrible for the company. Yeah, so I think so as well. I think they may probably wait another few weeks, maybe up to a month. I think at least for the next week or two, they may just leave the tool open still just to allow persons to go back and forth. That will have an impact on the numbers for Q4 for sure. So yeah, man, everything will be impacted. Everything will be impacted. I think all the companies. I cannot think of a company that will not be impacted. Yeah, I can't think of any that wouldn't be impacted. They can't charge before January. I don't necessarily agree because I think if they give it a full month now, the timing of December, you know what, you're right. They may do that, but it really depends on how things look. I figure they'll meet and discuss it, but it's not like you expect any other service to not charge you, Shells. So that's why I'm saying I don't think they need to necessarily wait till January because you have been riding on that highway free for the last 2 years. So it's not like they just took ownership and then now they gave people because it's been free for the last couple of days as well. I don't think if they waited another month, that would be seen as unreasonable because it's been free for the last 2 years. So, but certainly, I mean, we'll see what they decide. It is like them to probably give it until next year. I mean, they've waited 2 years, another 2 months won't be an issue. But that certainly will push back their projections for the quarter, I'm sure. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So let me ask again, how is everybody doing? How are you? How is your family? Did you see any damage? I know for us, I saw 2 places that were leaking. So our dining room is leaking, and we have a wash area that I saw leaking as well. Haven't been outside yet, so I don't know how things. My dogs seem okay. I made sure to feed them. I think I fed them early this morning or yesterday. So yeah. Kenton, I did see that. I think it was said in the video as well. So yeah, I've been trying to keep track of everything. So I've been on Twitter. I really, say what you want to about Twitter. I think that when it comes to news and dissemination of information, things do tend to travel fastest or on that platform, meaning I can trust that I can get updates on Twitter almost instantly as something happens. I can't say that for other platforms. The dogs have been outside, Chelsea. So there's a dog house that we have, but we have 3 dogs, and during the rain, we saw only 2 dogs in the doghouse. So one of them was kind of roaming about. But our house is set such that there is some shelter. So sometimes the dogs will stay under the house because there's some shelter there at certain points. Like this room that is here now, there's a little space that they can stay on to be shielded from the weather. So sometimes I do that because I think sometimes it gets cold in the doghouse, and so they may feel a little bit more warmth closer to the house. I'm not sure. And they're not always friendly with each other, so sometimes they'll fight. No veranda. If I put the dogs on the veranda, they'll eat and chew up every shoe, everything that's on the veranda. They will destroy. I did that when they were puppies, not when they're the size dogs that they are now. I no like here. If you leave anything outside, it is destroyed. I left their feeding container outside once. I didn't remember it for a day. The handle is gone. The spout, it was completely destroyed. So nothing can be left in the yard. Those dogs will destroy it. So they cannot be inside our house. Renee would not have it. All right, so just checking in with everyone, just seeing how you're doing. Hopefully your family is safe. I'll stay on stream for a couple more minutes. I did learn about something interesting. Let me see if I can share that as well. So let me find it. Something I don't think I fully knew about, but it made me draw for this book. This book that I got at the JSC conference, I think last year, about the Catastrophe bond. I've never, maybe I heard about it before and I didn't know, but let me share something. I'm planning to do a video about it. That's why I said I wasn't going to get into the details about it now, but I thought that was interesting, right? Let me see if I can find the post that was done. So this is it here, right? So Keenan Faulkner posted it. He certainly has been on our channel before. So Jamaica's catastrophe bond has certainly been triggered and a 100% payout is likely. So Jamaica 24 billion, it's on its way within days. It will be useful to kickstart relief and recovery. More instruments in the nation, in the national natural disaster risk financing framework will likely trigger too. So he pointed to the book, of course, that's when I started to read it. So this book, I was like, when I first got the book, you know, at GSC conference, I was like, it's not a book I read, right? I'm not a fan of, I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I don't typically take to, it's not the type of book I'd read. Let me say it that way. Because I'm not really, yeah, I don't know what else to say. But when he mentioned it, found it, went to the page, started to read about it, I'm like, it's such excellent planning, right? And it shows, so for example, it shows the different, it breaks down, you know, Jamaica into different zones here. And that's the image that he's showing right here. So the different, based on the air pressure, it triggers certain, you know, benefits of the bond and, you know, things. And I thought that was so interesting, right? Because yeah, it's very, very interesting is all I'll say. I'm still reading it to understand it. But it means that we have essentially some funding that can come our way to help make the recovery efforts a lot easier. And it seems like a few persons have, you know, notified of help as well. So I'll do a separate video on this because I don't want to. I'm hoping that Keenan can join us for it. If not, I'll try to just do my best representation of it based on the book and whatever information I can find. But that was certainly good to see. I've also seen persons, I saw the Miami Heat saying they'll do a donation. Some other basketball players, etc., saying that they'll do some support for Jamaica. So that those things were certainly good to see. And it's the kind of spirit that we want to have at this time, that we want to be as considerate of others as possible and as generous as we can be, right? We don't want to be we don't want to be thinking only of ourselves at this time, because we really don't know the we don't know the extent to which things are right now, and everybody's going to need some help in some way, shape, or form, right? So and that's why I think it's going to be important for us to really also use funds wisely, right? Even if you aren't impacted, you want to be careful, because other things may be impacted that will impact your ability to do what you need to do. So I think it's in everyone's benefit and interest to help each other to ensure that we all get, restored as soon as possible, right? Yes, I thought that was interesting to see. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I wanted to mention here. But yeah, I think I'll end the stream now. But if you need any help or support, Throp, it's good to see you join. Throp, I've been trying to reach you. Hopefully you're okay. I saw some of your videos that you were doing. Hopefully your guests and persons are doing fine at your hotel there. Yeah, I think persons are just dropping in on IG. I don't think anybody's really staying on, because it's probably trying to conserve battery and that stuff, which is fair. Jamaicans don't consider the animals. I see so much videos, people left their dogs outside, no dog was out. I mean, we are the type of people where if there is an animal that has been hurt or run over on the street, we're the type of people who care about that stuff, right? I would have as many dogs as I'm allowed to have. I'm certainly a dog person. Not a fan of cats, but I certainly don't want to see any hurt. It's always curious to me as well, the number of dogs that are on the street. I don't know if JSPCA found a location. I'm remembering now they were looking for a space because they had to move from where they were before. Hopefully they found somewhere. I'm not sure yet. But I mean, I don't know if that will ever change for us. I do know that persons just think that it's a luxury to have a pet in Jamaica. There are certainly persons who feel that way. Yeah. All right. So yeah, again, I just hope everybody's well. I was hoping that I'd be able to touch base with some key persons here. So again, if you're in our community, let us know how you're doing. If you are in any of our groups, just respond to our check-in post. If you're watching this video on the replay, just comment below. Just let us know that you're doing okay. Our prayers are with your family and with you at this time. Cats are our best. JSPCA did move. They're still at Africa. Okay, cool. So that means I thought they were going to be evicted if they did move by the end of the month. I think I saw that for September. Okay. The news made it sound as if they had absolutely no choice. I think the property sold and it was that they had to move. So I'll see. Yeah. All right. Is this it? Not seeing the one about flow. I just saw something about Digicel. Not seeing the one with flow. Was it on the Gleaner? Let me check the Gleaner because I checked Observer. Didn't check Gleaner. I'm not seeing it there. So I don't know, guys. I'll look out for that. I know from years ago they were trying to evict them. Okay, yeah, something changed. Yeah. All right. If all being equal, I'll do that video tomorrow on the catastrophe bond. So we'll be able to see what's happening there with that one. All right, everyone, stay safe. Really do hope that this has been it for us. I don't know if it's fully passed yet. I know the IDSA is headed to Cuba. I'm not sure if the other parishes are still experiencing rain. I know it's sounded quiet here for me with the last couple of hours. It's still a little windy, but not that much. And so I'll see how tonight goes. All right, everyone, stay safe. Take care.
Learning is the key to successful investing. And who doesn't want to invest in some way?
Here at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest, we focus on financial education, all with the aim of sharing our knowledge on personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We do this on the foundation of our faith in God.
If a more holistic approach is what you need, check out our Grow Faith-based financial coaching program.
Find out more about us at learngrowinvestclub.com
and follow us on all social media platforms at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest.